Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the deal. Or did we? How are you guys all doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man, and I appreciate you guys doing so. Make sure that if you're following me on YouTube, that you're also following me on all the platforms you see above and below, and hitting this like button right here, the thumbs up button. That's how my content can consistently be recommended to you, and it also helps push this message out in the YouTube world. So also, when you guys subscribe to the channel, if you haven't done it already, make sure that when you do, you hit the bell notification, and then when it brings up another tab, you click on the one that says all notifications. That way, in theory, you should be notified whenever I do post the video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I appreciate you guys all being here. This is a follow-up to the last video that I posted where a bill was pretty much shut down by President Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Elon Musk. Now, when I say it was shut down by them, I don't really mean that. I mean that they had a great influence on that bill being shut down. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like they have come to some agreement. So you do know by them coming to some agreement, something must have been taken out. And there's something in here that you're going to find that's really, really, really interesting. OK, so check this out right here, ladies and gents. House Republicans have reached an agreement on the Plan B to avert a government shutdown ahead of Friday's deadline and plan to vote on Thursday, lawmakers announced. The bill, titled American Relief, which changed its name, includes a 3-month continuation of government funding and a 2-year suspension of the debt limit, a provision that President-elect Trump called for yesterday. It keeps a chunk of the bipartisan provisions from the initial package negotiated by Speaker Mike Johnson, while stripping out controversial measures like a raise for Congress. But there are other key differences. Y'all heard that? Remember, it was all about them getting that extra $6,600 on top of their $174,000 they're making. Anyway, getting the bill across the finish line will be tough. Democrats still control the Senate and White House, and the Plan B package is already getting opposition from hardline conservative in the House. Clocking in at 116 pages, the legislation is significantly shorter than the 1,500-page bipartisan deal from earlier in the week. One source said a vote is expected on the bill at 6:30 p.m., which is 2.5 hours away from the current time right now, Central Time. The bill keeps roughly $100 billion in disaster relief and about $10 billion for farmer economic assistance, in the line with the dollar amounts included in the previous bipartisan funding agreement struck days back. And it will include a 1-year extension of the 2018 Farm Bill. In a break from Johnson's initial package, however, language that would provide lawmakers with a pay increase was removed. Sources also said a deal for year-round allow E15 ethanol sales will not be included. It includes extensions for some healthcare programs, but not all that were in the original deal. And reforms. And now, if y'all don't remember, the original deal was for like a lot of people that were in Congress to get away from the Obamacare plan and be able to go into a more federal healthcare plan. So anyway, and reforms to how pharmacy benefit managers operate were stripped from the package. And reforms to how pharmacy benefit managers operate were stripped from the package, a bipartisan measure, but one that significantly added into the initial bill's length and complexity were removed. Reauthorization of the Pandemic All Hazards Preparedness Act, which got heat from Elon Musk and right-wing commentators, was removed. I wonder who one of those. I'm not a right-wing commentator. I'm just telling y'all. Anyway, the Support Act, a bipartisan bill to address the opioid crisis, was also stripped. The new package also doesn't include previous language that would transfer administrative jurisdiction over RFK Stadium to the District of Columbia. The move comes after Musk also elevated misinformation that the prior package included a provision to facilitate a $3 billion NFL stadium in D.C. Like the NFL can't pay for their own stadium. Are we serious? They asking us to pay, well, not us, you guys to stay there, and taxpayers. We're Americans. They're asking you to pay for it. Like the NFL cannot afford that. Anyway, federal funding for rebuilding of the Key Bridge in Baltimore that was destroyed by a cargo ship crash earlier this year remains in the new bill, which I disagree with that. Because I told you guys, the manufacturers of that bridge and everything like that, even the manufacturers of the people that own the boat, the ship cargo that crashed into it, I thought that they would have been the ones doing it. The ship, I'm pretty sure they got insurance. this bridge and all that, insurance. There is some crazy stuff floating around when you go back and watch the video. People like, look at the dang on, anyway, charges going off. I'm going to leave it at that. One source said the bill was titled the American Relief Act. Top House Republicans told reporters that they plan to vote on the agreement today as Friday's shutdown deadline rapidly approaches. It remains unclear, however, if the legislation will muster enough support to pass. House Majority Leader Hakeem Jeffries panned the new funding bill. He said the Musk-Johnson proposal is not serious. It's laughable. Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown. No, we're not. Hey, everybody. So I'm interrupting this real quick just to let you guys all know, those of you that have been asking how can you help and how can you donate towards the children to help children have Christmas, the ones that are involved under the mentorship of me, you can easily do it by donating to my PayPal or the Cash App right up there. And again, let me reiterate this, folks. I don't want you guys to feel any pressure. If you do, great. If you do not, great. I just want you guys to know that that window is open right there for the ones who keep texting me and the ones who keep emailing me. That way everybody else can see it as well. It does not matter because I make sure that the kids get taken care of anyway. But some of my subscribers who have been consistently and have been loyal in donating there, I know you guys always ask me to remind you to do it. So here is your reminder. And everybody else, to the rest of you, no matter what you do, whether you do or don't, I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're going to hear, listen to the lingo. If all or even most Democrats vote against the legislation, Speaker Mike Johnson will be able to spare only a handful of GOP votes. And even some Republicans teed off on the agreement quickly after details leaked. Rep. Chip Roy called it a bad deal on Sean Hannity's radio show. And if y'all don't know this, Trump kind of got that dude. Yeah, Trump went at Chip Roy about his remarks on this. And Rep. Rich McCormick expressed early skepticism of the bill to reporters. Tell me what changed that was good. Y'all not getting that extra money. That NFL stadium is not going to be paid for by the taxpayers. Now, the one thing I did notice in here, they didn't say anything about, okay, don't forget the COVID relief stuff, blah, 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 blah. That what you mean? That was good. Anyway, because I'm trying to read through this because there's a lot to read through and I don't want to bore y'all. Okay. He says, there's something somebody's not telling me about in the details. Trump, for his part, endorsed the new spending deal on Thursday, urging Republicans to back the plan. He said, success in Washington. He wrote this on Truth Social. Speaker Mike Johnson and the House have come to a very good deal for the American people. And that's what I want y'all to point out. I want y'all to point that part out right there. Trump says that this is a very good deal for the American people. I would like to see the bill myself. 1,500 pages. I'm one of those people that can go through some things real quick and just pick out some things. We learned that when you go through med school, some of the studying, you're able to just pick out some of the major key points in there. You go in there with questions in your head and see if any of those answers are in there as you read it anyway. All Republicans and even Democrats should do what is best for the country and vote yes for this bill tonight, he added. All Republicans and Democrats should do what's best for our country. You've seen a lot of stuff in there. People were doing what was best for them or in the best interest of them. So anyway, let's keep going. The Plan B comes after Johnson's initial funding proposal, and he had negotiated with Democrats, was torpedoed by frustrated GOP lawmakers with help from opposition from Trump and a swarm of posts against it for incoming Department of Government Efficiency co-hosts Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Trump had also called on lawmakers to raise the debt ceiling, which will need to be addressed sometime in 2025, warning that Democrats could use it as a political trap. The ideologically diverse group of House Republicans huddled in Johnson's office for hours on Thursday, looking into alternate spending plans, including one stoppage that would have excluded a debt ceiling increase, but instead been accompanied by a commitment to raise the borrowing limit twice next year. The plan, however, ran into a brick wall as hardline conservatives, including those in the House Freedom Caucus, demanded spending cuts to offset the debt limit, increase a source. Let me say that slow. The plan, however, ran into a brick wall as hardline conservatives, including those in the House Freedom Caucus, demanding spending cuts to offset the debt limit increases. A source has told this to The Hill. The source said the group was unable to find enough areas to cut in such a short period of time, with the shutdown looming, prompting a logjam and leading them to scrap the plan. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to get that off to you guys in, I think, fashionable amount of time. As y'all can see in there, there are some things that were completely pulled out because it made a lot of people mad. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Although Vivek Ramaswamy is not in office yet, I hope that he and people like Elon Musk are either people that they have working for them are able to be transparent like this, where somebody's going to do the hard work. Like I mentioned in the last video I made on this, that you just have a team of people who is able to comb through this stuff and read and then go present and say, look, this is what they're planning on doing. This is what they're planning on doing. Da, 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 da. And look how this is going to affect the American people. It does kind of behoove me that as a public servant, you in there trying to get yours, when it should be about the American people. Now, if you look at me and tell me right now, $174,000 is not a lot of money to be, y'all got the wrong people in there working. I'm sorry. No, you can say what you want. Ty, you make more. It does not matter. We're not talking about me. We're talking about the average American. If you feel like you're struggling, making $174,000 a year, you need to come and talk to me. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. You can do well making $50,000 in America right now. You can say, no, you can't. Yes, you can. That does not mean that you're going to be impoverished. You have choices. You have options making $50-some thousand a year. Trust me. Yes, you do. If you say no, you don't, email me. I can talk to you and lead you and guide you in the right direction in areas and things, places you can live in, safe areas, making that amount of money and in your choosing, because I can guarantee you that if we look at your finance, see, that's what I'm saying. I love that. That's what I love about Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon Musk. Although people can be wealthy and doing good, you still can look at people and say, this is where you're spending your money at wrong. This is where you need to allocate your funds to right here. This is where you need to pretty much put your resources in. You spending too much money right here. You're not putting enough money in this. It's not that hard to do. I teach this thing with a lot of folks that I mentor right now, and I unfortunately gave it a name that a lot of people don't care too much for, but it actually stands out. I call it getting out of the ghetto hood project mentality when it comes to finances. Anyway, that's for another video, guys. Let me know what you guys all think about this. Do you think that choices were made? Do you think that already, even though Trump them are not in office, they're already having a great influence on them? And if you do believe that that's the reason why, let me know. Is it because they're scared of what Doge is going to come in and do, or what Trump is going to do? Leave it in the comment section after this video, folks. Don't forget to do what you see in that cloud right there, if you would, please. The next video that I will be doing, I think, in chronological order, is going to appear up there. The music reactions of the old, or even some newer ones, are right here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.